Hello guys, welcome back to Gaming Tidbits, and today we're going to talk about another book on Kickstarter that I completely missed when I was making videos, and that is Coleco, The Complete History. This book is on Kickstarter. It's got like 5 days left. It's already reached its goal of 4,000. It's at almost 11,000 right now. But Coleco, a lot of people remember in gaming Coleco for Colecovision, but Coleco Industries was a big company. Now, Coleco was founded in 1932 and originally was called the Connecticut Leather Company. I did not know this until I saw the Kickstarter of this book. I'm not claiming to know this knowledge, actually, until they basically went bankrupt in 1989. But for a lot of us around that period of time, especially during ColecoVision, Coleco was a big deal because they weren't just a video game company. They were a toy company. They were an electronics company. Cabbage Patch Kids and other stuff, came to being because of them. One of the biggest things I think about with Coleco is actually the cool mini arcade machines they came out with. That when those came out, to me, that was the coolest thing. That was like, I wanted to have one. Even though it wasn't perfectly like the arcade, it was just the artwork on the outside of it and the way it looked like an arcade machine. I so wanted one of those at the kids. And I had a friend who had one. He had Donkey Kong. And I played it. I absolutely loved it. It was awesome. They also made little handheld games, like Tiger and other people had done at the time, Mattel and stuff. So Coleco wasn't just a little company. But for a majority of gamers, we only know the Colecovision. And for me, I had Atari 2600 at that time. And I thought the Atari 2600 was awesome. And I loved that system. At that time, it was the first video game system I ever had, before the video game crash. And I really didn't pay attention to the television or the ColecoVision. And my cousin had a ColecoVision. And we went over there to spend a weekend over there one time. And he brought it out and I got to play it. And the control was so much different than the 2600, the way it moved and everything. And I thought it was kind of weird. But once I got used to it, I actually liked the controller, and saw how amazing Cubert looked. Like Cubert looked closer to the arcade than obviously Atari 2600 would ever gotten, or playing like Smurfs or the games he had blew me away what they look graphically. And so Coleco was a major deal for a lot of people during that period. Now, talking about this book and that stuff, obviously there's a lot of group of gamers these days who gaming for them did not start till the Nintendo Entertainment System. But there was a big competition going back on the day between Atari, Coleco, and the television when they were all out at the same time. And if you want to know more about Coleco, this would be a great book, because this book covers all the games that came out for it, the homebrew games. It's going to have a lot of interviews with people involved with Coleco, or who are in the industry around the time of Coleco. So you're going to get all that in the book. You're also going to get a special edition of Splunky Supercar, produced by Colecovision, who they do a lot of Coleco homebrews these days. So, and it's going to be, now Splunky Supercar, according to the Kickstarter, it has to get to 15,000 and it doesn't show it unlocked yet. But the way it's going, it should get there. Or maybe they're going to give it away anyway. It just might be just a unlock goal just to have it, and they might give it away anyway. But the other cool thing about this book is that it's only $10 if you just want the PDF version of the book, $20 to get the paperback. But the more you give, there will be other bonuses. So if you give at a certain point, you will actually get this book and the history of Ocean. If anybody remembers the Ocean, they made a lot of video games, especially 16-bit era and stuff, or the history of U.S. Gold. So depending on how much you give, you could get another book with this. Or maybe you want to learn about this kind of video game history. If you're a video game person who loves the history of video games, this book would definitely be up your alley. I think it's really cool that he's making this book. And again, it's one of these books where the person behind it loves that era they're doing the book on. And that's the only way to make a proper book, is the person has to love the system in that era in games. According to this, he's been collecting ColecoVision since 1996. So clearly, he loves the Coleco. And this is going to be an awesome book to kind of fill in the hole, like in your video game history, right? You have it on the shelf, and if you love Coleco, this will be it. Or if you want to know about it. And Coleco did a lot of stuff. And it's cool to see that they were more than just for people who didn't know, because some people who see the Colecovision think Coleco is just a video game company, and a lot of companies aren't who are involved in gaming. You know, we think of Sony, we think of PlayStation, but they made games back in the NES era for the Nintendo Entertainment System. So anyway, so what do you guys think of this book? Is this or is this up your alley? Would this be a book you're interested in, or is it like, that's cool, but that's before my era in gaming? We'd love to hear your guys' opinions like always, and I'll make another video soon. Later, guys.